On Times Drive this week, the all-new Mahindra XYLO. Is it the Innova killer it wants to be? We get in the ring with both cars and play referee.
The XYLO has been built like an assassin here to kill.
Hello and welcome to another tire-smoking episode of Times Drive. We kick today off with the XYLO, a massively important car for Mahindra and Mahindra. But how does it fare against the one car whose crown it's gunning for, the Toyota Innova? We find out.
For years now, if you wanted to go on the Great Indian Family road trip, you know, the one with mom, dad, nana, nani, bunty, bubbly and the dog, there really was only one car for the job. This one, the Toyota Innova. For long distance family drives, it was the undisputed king of the hill.
Until now.
Because there is a new kid on the block, we are of course talking about the Mahindra XYLO. Now this car's been built, trained almost to be an assassin. Age target, 3 guesses. The question is, can the upstart really challenge the champion? There's only one way to find out.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Well, now it's time to find out who really is the king of the ring. And as Rohan says, in the end, one shall stand and one shall fall. It's time for a death match.
Drama queen.
Now the XYLO is powered by Mahindra's 2.5-litre turbocharged M-Eagle common-rail diesel engine. That gives you 112 bhp and a whopping 235 Newton-meters of torque. And you could pull mountains with that. And the best part is, all of this power comes in kind of smoothly. I mean, there's a bit of turbocharge right at the start, but after that, you aren't jerked around by random surges in power. And that means Bunty and Bubbly sitting in the back seat won't spill their juice every time you accelerate.
True, the XYLO's got the Innova beat when it comes to power. I mean, the Innova's 2.4-litre engine only does 103 brake horsepower and gives you about 200 Newton-meters of torque. But the trade-off here is that the engine's a lot quieter than the one in the XYLO. Sounds more refined. I mean, here, I'd actually be able to hear Bunty and Bubbly scream when they started pulling each other's hair out, you know.
There's no denying that the XYLO's engine does sound harsh and a bit unrefined. But for all that noise, I get a little more power and I can't hear the wife nagging. I'd have to say, for that alone, the XYLO wins this round.
One of the reasons the Innova's been so successful is because at the end of the day, it makes for a comfortable drive. And it handles well too. So in comparison, does the XYLO make the cut?
A lot of work has been done on the suspension of this car, and if you're used to driving a Scorpio, driving a XYLO will come as a pleasant surprise. I mean, we drove it over some pretty bad roads, hit a few speed breakers on purpose, swung it around a few corners, and the XYLO impressed me more than anything else.
Now the Innova's a comfortable car. I mean, not as comfortable as a massage parlor in Thailand or anything, but it does the job. I mean, you wouldn't get out after a drive from Bombay to Goa crying about how your back hurts and swearing that you never want to see another car as long as you live. One warning though, if you're carrying a full load of 7 people, you might want to put the kids in the back, unless you've got a really small adult or something.
Yes, but that right there is the XYLO trump card. The space inside this thing, and there's no other word for it, epic.
You could easily put 2 adults in the third row and they'd have no complaints.
Well, here I am in a place I'd never thought I'd be, the dreaded third row. You know, for someone like me, and I'm a big guy, getting out of a car like this requires a lot of contortionist moves. But not in a car like this. I mean, flip the top down, pull up a string, and I'm out.
And there's more. Every seat has its own AC vent, the mirrors are electric, there's an integrated CD player, a digital drive assist system that tells you unimportant rubbish like the temperature outside, and important stuff like how many kilometers you can do before you'd need to tank up again. This fight is starting to look a bit one-sided.
One-sided? Not yet. I mean, reliability is practically Toyota's middle name. The company's got a reputation for building solid cars and solid engines that stretches back decades. And that's the sort of reputation the Innova really lives up to. I mean, there's a reason cab drivers love this car. It's got a strong engine, every part of it feels solidly built. And let's face it, that's not Mahindra's strong point.
Now, I'd like to say that he's wrong, except that he isn't. Mahindra doesn't have the best street cred as far as fit and finish and solidity are concerned. And to be fair, even though they've come pretty far with the XYLO, they still do have a long way to go. The interiors and plastics on this could be better. I mean, they're fine from a distance, but on closer examination, they fall apart a bit. For Mahindra, the devil really is in the details. Remember how I said the XYLO has been built like an assassin here to kill the Innova? Well, the assassin's weapon of choice here is the price. Prices for the XYLO start at just 6,25,000 rupees, a full lakh cheaper than the lowest priced Innova. That's first blood right there. Well, so there you have it. Now the XYLO is going to shake things up for the Innova, especially at its price point and all the stuff that it has to offer. But is it really game over for the Innova? Well, our sense is wait for 6 months. If you suddenly do see far more XYLO luxury taxis than you see Innovas, there's your answer.
Alright, so that's all we have time for this week, but stick around because you could win a nifty Sony PSP.